If we are within 6 feet of each other, a magical virus can jump onto the next person and just kill them in the most horrific fashion that you could ever imagine. Doesn't that sound like something you would tell a child? Doesn't that sound like something like just to mess with them because it's funny? Like, doesn't that sound like something like, yeah, little man, hey, stay away from those cookies right there, because if you eat those cookies, they will, you'll spontaneously combust and your head will blow up. And it's like you would kind of get away with that with like a 4 or 5 year old for just a little bit. They wouldn't. It wouldn't last long, but there's just a little sector of life where the imagination is just so grand that it's willing to, there's no disbelief to suspend, because in movies it's called the suspension of disbelief. There's no disbelief to suspend. And I can't help but feel like I've been right this entire time. If you would like to go back, because I know quite a few of you are very recent, if you'd like to go back, there's a video called "This Is How the Terrorists Win," and it's when and I did that the day that the Governor Murphy was releasing the executive orders for the shutdowns. Like, this was day one of all of that 3 months ago. We all wasted 3 months of our lives for what? For the invisible enemy, that was gonna come and murder us all, and everybody played directly into it. Yet, shoot, wait. Okay, so that's falling off though. That's falling off. Okay, what can we do? Oh man, we can really, like I said in the in my initial George Floyd video, we can just push the race button. There you go. Racist. Oh man, use racist. And the two collided. Tucker Carlson, you have the floor.
Those were guaranteed by the Bill of Rights? Not anymore. And in fact, in many parts of the country, people still don't have those rights. But our leaders said they had no choice but to take them away. This was a medical emergency. It was more important than your rights. They were lying. We always thought they were lying. Now we know for sure. Because today we have an open letter signed by more than 1,200 doctors, professionals, and public health officials. And it explains that the riots you're watching must be allowed, while any other demonstration, like one you might participate in, must be suppressed. Quote, rights.
Yeah, so it's all or nothing. Ultimately, there is no oh yeah, well, the George Floyd stuff and Black Lives Matter stuff, oh yeah, well, that's perfectly fine, but hey, going to your nana's funeral, and this is where the resentment's really gonna kick in. And resentment adds more fuel to any fire than than all the gasoline in the world, because it's true. Like, you can't sit here and, like, there are people who had social distance funerals. There are people who have committed suicide. There are so many negative consequences that have come along with this entire hoax. I'm willing to call it a hoax at this point, because I don't expect to see a whole bunch of people just dropping dead off the face of the earth in the next 5 days, 4 days. Is day 9 or day 10? I'm not sure. But either way, I'm not expecting to see a whole bunch of people just fall right off the face of the earth. So thusly, it was a hoax. It was a BS. Not that people didn't get sick. Hold on, because I'm sure that people did. But no different than a regular flu season, because we do end up we do have these little spurts. It's like, come on, guys. Come on. I just, like, it's like panic mode. It really is. If you, from a very specific angle, all of this seems like panic mode, because they never wanted the president in his position. And all over the world, you may or may not be familiar with this, but a more of a nationalistic, conservative, localized, movement is afoot where it's like, hey, yeah, we got to look out for our own people. And there's literally nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with Brazil doing it for Brazil, Venezuela doing it for Venezuela, China doing it for China, and the United States doing it for the United States. But the difference between the United States and all those other countries is that they're mostly indigenous. This is the one country where, come on in. Like, what is it, like over 1 million people a year for the past like 50 years or some change like that. Like, come on, guys. I don't want to see this fall. I do not want to see the United States fall, but there seems to be so many different powers more than happy to facilitate it, to try and press that, including, Antifa and the like.
Must be suppressed. Quote, as public health advocates, we do not condemn these gatherings as risky for COVID-19 transmission. But they clarify this should not be confused with a permissive stance on all gatherings, particularly protests against stay-at-home orders. Those actions not only oppose public health interventions, but they are also rooted in white nationalism and run contrary to respect for black lives.
It's word salad. Just chop it on up. Make sure you get your croutons and your bacon bits and all that, and your ranch dressing and all that other good stuff on it, and just chew it on up because it's just word salad. Black couldn't care less, but panic mode. They sit here running audibles, everything that they can do to, make it seem as if at least to I don't know who, but to somebody as if, oh my goodness, your current leadership situation is just so bad that you're going to be forced, but you will have no other choice but to vote for Biden. He got all his super delegates for Biden. Come on, the writing's on the wall. That's why Joe Rogan's had Crystal Ball and Cigar on, and he's doing the whole Spotify thing because the entertainment entertainment Holly weirdos, they're like, yo, how do we, like, this is the closest thing to them. They've literally come out and called the man mainstream. So they're like, oh, this is the new mainstream. Come on, guys. Here we go. And now you got Joe Rogan sitting there trying to say, oh no, man, there's mostly white kids out there, doing the rioting. No. We all hold the L. There's nothing wrong with that either. Hold the L. It's fine. Trust me, as a compact black man, I've held plenty L's in my life, and it is what it is. You get used to it after a while. It's fine. But it's nothing to, facilitate the destruction of a country over.
In other words, anybody who complains about being locked down is a racist, except the people who refuse to be locked down because they're protesting racism. Heads I win, tails you lose. These are public health officials. This is insanity. Just days ago, you were told that any kind of gathering could kill thousands of people. You'd be a murderer. You'd be a genocidal murderer. That was before we learned that viruses have their own woke political agenda. And so the only rallies we should ban are those being held by people who have the wrong ideas. People who want to earn a living or go to church. Those protests are racism. Oh, and this is all coming from people who lecture you about science, who wouldn't recognize science if they got in the shower with them, but they're still lecturing about science, which is always a pretext for ways to destroy our country and control your life.
And I mean, how can you deny that, particularly with the whole executive orders and what we've witnessed over the past few months? You can't sit here and say this isn't a gigantic power grab for, individual rights and freedoms, which is, supposed to be enshrined in our Constitution. But as our governor said, it's a bit above his pay grade, huh? I'm telling you, and that's why the whole Supreme Court nominee that man put forward is a gigantic red flag for me, because it's like, okay, if he doesn't consider the Constitution, and I'm sitting there watching all these elected officials talk about, oh, this is so great, the first black, what the hell does this woman think about the Constitution? Okay? But these folks don't even acknowledge the Constitution because they're not there for the Constitution. They're not there to secure or the rights of their constituency. They're not there to improve the quality of life for the vast majority of their constituencies. They're there because hey, they're doing somebody's bidding. Make no mistake.
A way to fleece you. Why are we paying for any of this crap, by the way? That's a question we're going to address in some detail next week. But right now, it's enough to know this is a sham. It was a front for tyrants to inflict their personal neuroses and their desire for control on the United States of America and to do it outside the democratic process, outside democratic norms. Every person who signed this letter is a faker. None of them represent science. We should never listen to any of them again.
And Tucker, my guy, salute to you. I mean, I know, oh my goodness, Fox News, but truth is truth. You can't sit here, like I said, with the whole Candace Owens things, and even if I don't like you or I don't appreciate this one thing you did there, I'm not bold enough to sit there and deny the truth in another thing that you say. Not carte blanche, a la carte. It's very a la carte when it comes to people and their opinions. You got to take the good, and when it comes to the bad, push it on elsewhere. But in this, 130% correct. 130% correct. And like we should that's something to riot over, but unfortunately, no. Black Lives Matter, right? I'm just saying. So with that being said, we're going to bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff. If you liked it, toss it a like. Dislike, go ahead, do that too. Nobody's scared of you. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice and want to get videos like this every single day. Share it because sharing is caring. And YouTube and Bitchute and like aren't the biggest fans of your boy over here for very obvious reasons. Bang the bell for notifications and speak. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like we got played. I've been saying it. And so like I'm the type of person that doesn't actually want to be right. I end up being right eventually. Time tends to, work out in my favor, but I would much prefer to be able to prevent the nonsense before it happens and instead of being able to predict, hey, this is going to happen, be completely ignored and then watch everybody turn around and be like, oh wait, what happened? And I'm just sitting here banging my head against the wall. Like, come on. This is what happened. So, let me know what you guys think in the comments. All right. I mean, if you think I'm wrong, like I say, that's what they're there for. Until the next one.